up in my business, real nose like a bloodhound. I'ma throw them off like I'm standing on a picture mound. All they do is look at Instagram while they sit around. Hate me in real life, but you liking pictures now. Oh, everybody acting different now. Finally trying to see what I be on. Got a different style, they be at the brand new when they know I've been around. Got a fake smile on your face cause you been inclined. I can say a lot, but I'm not. Gotta keep it down, making sure nobody drown. I'm my brother, keep it now. Mike Jack hit me up and said I gotta beat it down. Turn me up when I'm on your speaker now. Cool, tear it down, tear it down, tear it down, tear it down, tear it down. Lose it on my cardio, I used to get to run around. I've been doing this since I had to work at mama house. Tear it down, tear it down, tear it down, tear it down, tear it down. Everybody eating this a party, 1 o'clock of time. You can bring your mama, daddy, sister, and your cousin out. Yeah, you in the league, but you ain't hooping around and tear it out. Before you judge me, you need to go and wipe the mirror off. Try to turn me down, the only thing you do is veer off. Showing fake love, I can tell it once I say it all. I just stay cool, acting like it wasn't weird at all. Most of the people that you meet are not who they appear at all. If you want on top, then you wouldn't hear it cheer at all. But I ain't got no top, I don't need a chandelier at all. I ain't got no talk cause I be really out my mind. When the hate don't work, I guarantee they get the line. They all talk dog, it's a room full of brinds. I'm royalty, that means that it's in my bloodline. All hell the king, made the president resign. And if I'm not the king, then I'm making doves cry. I'm stepping on the scene like I never did reply. I ain't gotta justify, I'm cool. Tear it down, tear it down, tear it down, tear it down, tear it down. Boosted on my cardio, I used to get to run around. I've been doing this since I had to work at mama house. Tear it down, tear it down, tear it down, tear it down, tear it down. Everybody eating this a party, 1 o'clock of time. You can bring your mama, daddy, sister, and your cousin out.
On a wonderful fall afternoon in the state of Texas, the roof is open, and we've got football from NRG Stadium in Houston. Today we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the Carolina Panthers and the Houston Texans. NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This taken in at the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Off the play fake, Mills. Escaping the pressure right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Brian Burns in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. So an early wake-up call there leads to a quick 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Mills swings this one out wide for Pierce. And he'll be out right at the 35. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
A lot of times the key is just get him the ball and let him do his thing. And they got it out to him on the left side, and he did exactly that. Excellent run after the catch.
First run of the game here for Dameon Pierce. And he's got room. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 47. First down, they go right back to Pierce. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. The Texans at 7-2 here on the year. And they were losers last time out, but winners of 7 of 9 prior to that.
And it always hurts when you lose a tight game, as they did a week ago. I think each player starts thinking to himself, if I could have played better, one play here, one play there, maybe it could have changed this team's fortunes. But it absolutely illustrates how important it is to play a complete game if you want to win in the NFL.
Mills throw taken in there by Cooks. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. Pierce will try to pick it up. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
Well, they're currently the best in the NFL in converting on third down, so it was no surprise there that they picked that one up.
And they've done it in many different ways throughout the season, Charles. Picking it up, running it, throwing it, just effective on third downs all year long. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Mills now. Here's Johnson with a reception. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Looking to throw is Mills. Gets the dump off to Pierce. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. Well, it seems pretty clear on this opening drive that they want to get him involved, not only, Charles, in the run game, but in the pass game as well. And he can be such a weapon for them when they utilize him this way.
And, partner, you know I'm a veteran, right? In other words, that means a little bit older. Back in my day, we used to call a guy like this a workhorse, except he carried the ball all the time. Now they get it to him a variety of ways, but you're right. They want to run their offense through him.
Mills' throw taken in by Cooks. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. Well, safe to say the passing game has found a rhythm. He's now 4 of 4, but might need to be 5 of 5 to keep this drive going here as they face a third down.
And maybe perhaps you show a running play, right? Maybe a little play action here to go ahead and let him throw the ball downfield. I wouldn't get away from him flinging it because 4 for 4 already. I think he's got a good chance of picking this one up here on third down.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not the desired outcome, but probably won't be the last time we see him take a shot downfield.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. And it's now 3-0 Texans. And all in all, a pretty decent opening drive, Charles. Pretty balanced. They had the passing game going and the rushing attack, too.
I would think they have to be happy with that start because you get your ground game going, which means your offensive line and your runners are pretty happy, and then you get your aerial attack going as well, so your quarterback and receivers have smiles on their faces. Now both up to speed, awaiting their next possessions for this game. They can't wait to get started again.
Ready, set. Fix the Eagles, fix the Eagles. Go.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey, and he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run. But the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
From the 29, Smith. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down. He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football.
And this throw will be intercepted. And the Texans are going to take possession of the football. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he... And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. First and 10, it's Pierce. And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. 43 yards rushing for him now to this point. Well, this defense for the Panthers, they were excellent a week ago in that victory over Indianapolis.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for them to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for them to escape the pocket and run.
Ready for the second quarter from Houston. It's the Texans in possession of the football as they've got it with a first and 10. Pierce takes it straight ahead. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Johnson, the man in motion right. Quickly out wide to Mechie. Only able to gain a couple there. And now we've got a 3rd and 4.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there? Swarming to it and not allowing that to happen. Did not let him get downfield.
Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1.
When a good play is made on defense, oftentimes leverage is the key to everything. Defensive line not getting turned, all the other guys making sure they're in the right spot, and on that play, they were able to stop them short of a first down.
They'll try and run for it, and he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down, and the Panthers will get the football back. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall, and they can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
Now a dump-off here complete. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
From the end zone, Smith. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Thomas. So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And that's going to bring up the 4th down. Here's Johnny Hecker now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out of there. That's taken it around the 40. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. Pierce now up the middle. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. 52 yards on the ground for him so far.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
In motion right here comes Johnson. 3rd and short yardage. Mills dancing to his left. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Panthers will take over possession here up at the 44. And that's a ball that he is going to want to keep, his first career interception in the National Football League.
And I love what teams do when that happens. You bring the ball to the sideline, the equipment guy grabs it, he puts a piece of tape on it, writes on it so that you know what it is, and then they tuck it away so that you can have it for later and put it on your mantle. Pretty good deal for him right there. Now he's eager to get back out on the field and get his second one.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. To throw is Smith. And this one too low.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Smith. And that will be incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
A nice job getting free on the return for 13 yards. And the Texans will take over. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And you know, certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number 1 goal? Make the playoffs. Number 2, win your division. Number 3, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the number 1 seed so you get that first round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl that way.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On play action, Mills. He's got his man. It's the tight end, Brevin Jordan. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Running it out of the gun with Pierce. Room here to run. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 72 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Being chased out left. That's complete to Pierce. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Working with 2nd and 5 now. On 2nd down, here's Pierce. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
That call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they showed passing formation, showed a shotgun, then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Throw left side complete. That's Johnson. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Final play of the half. Mills. Touchdown, Texans. John Mechie. In the final seconds of the first half. And the Texans will extend their lead here just before halftime. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the lead grows to 10-0. So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Panthers going to get the football first, trailing here as well as we resume play in this second half. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd.
I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. Much more room to operate under after the big play. Here's 1st and 10. Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Off of play action. Here's Smith. He's got his tight end. It's Tommy Tremble. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
He's going to air one out for Anderson. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. But the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Smith. Throw left side, going to be caught by Chenault. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Texans will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line.
That has to be a little bit discouraging because after all their halftime talk, adjustments, and points of emphasis, their first drive ends with an interception. Absolutely aggravating if you're a head coach because you spent all that time, gone through every situation possible, and it still ends in a turnover.
A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. So now after the sack, Mills and the Texans needing to navigate a 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. This is caught. It's Cooks. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 3rd and 19, no problem, as they're able to convert.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try to put the hammer down and finish this one off.
92 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside, and so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. A run for Pierce out of the gun. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up 1st and goal. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
And they'll send the tight end in motion left. They'll run here with Pierce. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
Another carry for Pierce. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Damian Pierce with now 15 rushing touchdowns on the year. And the Texans will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half. Gonzalez good on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. This now a 10-point game, so things tightening a little bit after that last score. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
There's a lot of good on that play when we see the big fella take it and rumble into the secondary. But how about the big part of it, taking care of the football? He doesn't carry it very often, but when he does, he's got to make sure that he doesn't get it popped free. Unlike Mike Tolbert in Super Bowl 50, carrying the ball popped free, turnover, and it hurt his team.
And some room to work. And he will be taken down, but a big pickup there on what's going to be the final play of the third quarter. So both teams trade touchdowns in the third as we're through 3 quarters of play. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. And they'll go right back to Pierce. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Damian Pierce, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Texans add on to their 4th quarter lead, and they are on their way to improving to 8-2. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Now Gino. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. On the toss, they run wide side with McCaffrey. And some room to maneuver. Touchdown, Carolina. Well, he just bumped up his personal stats with a second score, but they still have some ground to make up.
Not terrific for today because of what you just said. They're still down on the scoreboard. But later in the year, when he piles it all up and starts to think about contract time, that's a pretty good deal for him. And I know darn well that you've got him in fantasy football, don't you?
I don't. You always think I just appreciate that you think I'm smart enough to have him in fantasy.
Well, you are.
Thanks. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
So fourth quarter, a nice run there to start this drive. Charles, what do you think the split will be here between run and pass?
Well, partner, I think it'll lean towards the run, but this is also not a time where you just totally do that. You still have to possess the ball, move the sticks, and keep the clock moving as well. So they'll run their offense, but yeah, when they have a chance to run it, they'll do that a little bit more.
Play fake, Mills. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and give the football right back because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
On third down, here's Mills. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
On is the punter, Johnston, now as he sends this one away. Dances by him. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10.
Here we go.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. So a fourth quarter pick 6 here, and that one might put this game out of reach, CD.
I certainly agree with that, partner, and I know one thing, though. That team that just got the pick 6, they're going to keep playing until this one's over. Better be careful. They're looking to get another one.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And he is going to have a Panthers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
But sometimes, Brandon, there's just not a secret to how things get done. He's been running well all game long, and they continue to rely on him in this key situation.
They told us they were going to rely on him. They have. He comes through there, a big 3rd down conversion. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. Now a play fake, and it's Smith. Pass over the middle tipped, but he still brings it in. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Well, sure looked pretty coming off of his hand, but sometimes you might have to take a little bit off of it. That one looked a little too hot to handle.
And off the tip, hey, they still got the catch, right?
It's amazing, isn't it? Even when it goes wrong, it turns out right.
3rd down, here's McCaffrey. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy.
Let's go now.
Desperation time for Smith on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Texans take over an excellent field position. Give to Pierce. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
To the 27-yard line.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
They go again with Pierce. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. Give left side for Pierce. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Now a handoff for Pierce. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So for Houston, they continue to put themselves in position for a first-round bye as they move to 8-2. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, it was a game they really needed as they drop back to 4-6. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.